Molly, and I'm really happy that you're joining me today in talking about knitting, handcraft, spinning, sharing a little bit about myself, because last episode I kind of started reading from a thread that's called Now is the Time to Ask, and I've been getting a lot of questions, so today I will probably answer 3-4 more. I'm just going down the line, and but I will do those in the end, kind of before I do the shop update and things that are going on around the shop. I have been doing a lot of knitting this week. Adodi has had Kita holidays, so the shop I haven't really been able to work on so much because she's been home, which has been really, really nice. She enjoys Kita. It's not like she is so excited each morning to get up and go to Kita by any means, but she likes it enough. But when she knows that a weekend is here, or especially now, holiday time, she's over the moon happy to be home and spending time with us. So today is Friday, and she has today and then 2 more days of being here at home, so which is really nice. We've really enjoyed it, and we woke up this morning to snow, a really, really, really small amount of snow, but enough snow that I came over to the window and I said, "Adodi, look, it snowed overnight." And she looked out the window and said, "Oh, there's snow all over the playground and all over the ground," and she was really just thrilled. I have, it's really cold. It's really, really, really cold. Elodie and I went for a walk yesterday morning to get some fresh coriander, because I know I've said this before, but I really, really love Mexican food. It is my most favorite kind of food. If I can have a choice of anything I would like to eat, I would generally choose some sort of Mexican dish. And yesterday I made these really simple burritos, I guess you could call them, where I marinated some chicken. It was very simple. I marinated some chicken. I cut 2 fresh avocado. We went for a walk because we needed to go to the store to get some fresh coriander. You can buy it, of course, fresh in these little plastic boxes, but they're really not that fresh. There's a store kind of quite nearby that has some fresh herbs like that. Coriander, which is one that you don't normally get in any sort of store fresh. So we walked there and we got some, and so I put a huge bundle of coriander in the burritos, some onion, really finely chopped onion and tomato, kind of like a pico de gallo with the tomato, onion, and the coriander. And then what else did I put in there? A little bit of fresh mozzarella. And then I put the smallest amount of olive oil in the pan on top of the stove, and I browned each side of the burrito. And Robert had his with some sour cream, and I thought it was really delicious. Robert wouldn't eat it again because he is so weird about avocado. He doesn't really like avocado. He cannot get over the texture, which to me is the weirdest thing. How can you eat sour cream and enjoy sour cream, but not like avocado? It's really quite similar. But we've been eating a lot of fruit around here lately. Lots of strawberries, blueberries, watermelon we had yesterday, some bananas that I'm waiting to ripen because I like mine quite brown. Not when the actual banana is brown, but I like it when the outside has brown spots all over it, and then it's really, really sweet. That's my favorite way. I can never understand how people can eat green or even yellow or even really, really lightly brown bananas. So I'm waiting for those to ripen. And then we got a granite apple, a pomegranate, and some apples. And what we have left of that is we have one pomegranate, I'm sorry, it's called a Granatapfel, or you would say in English, granite apple. And then we have a couple of bananas. So we've been enjoying fruit so much. I have been having the worst acid reflux. It is honestly terrible. There have been a couple of nights that I've woken up from acid reflux, and I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this, but have just been vomiting out of my mouth, out of my nose. It's been really unpleasant, really terrible, and painful, to be honest. So last night I drank, oh my goodness, I would say 8 glasses of water after dinner. And I ate a little bit of licorice because that's supposed to help. And I didn't have any acid reflux, and I didn't wake up in the middle of the night from it. It's the first time, and it was so fantastic. It was really, really nice. It was such a... I woke up in the middle of the night because Elodie has a bit of a cough. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, you have no acid reflux this evening. Thank you for all that water and that licorice. I'm using Elodie's cup. She got this from Santa Claus. And she has matching really nice silverware. It's really heavy and really edel. It's made out of, oh, I can't think of what it's called, but really great silverware for her. Because we have her use her knife and fork and spoon when she's eating, so we wanted her to have a really nice pair of silverware. And I am drinking, you guys, I'm not even kidding, this is the best tea I have ever had. And this was just a complete, just totally random that I happened to stumble upon this tea because we had been grocery shopping and I needed to go to the not the supermarket, kind of like I needed to go to DM. And I needed to pick up a couple of things, and I somehow was looking at the teeny organic section where they have, you know, all of the bio stuff and then the teas. And I stumbled across from Te Kana Indische Chai, and which just means Indian tea. And it has a vanilla plant there, but while it does have a little bit of a vanilla taste, it tastes very strong and smells very strong of nelken, which in English is clove. And clove is a smell that I love. The second I brought the box to my nose, I thought I need to try this tea. And Elodie, oh my goodness, Elodie is over the moon with it. She drinks 1 to 2 full glasses a day with milk inside, and I drink mine with milk as well. But it is, I kid you not, it is the most delicious. If you love chai teas, you have to try it. So it's made by Te Kana, and this is the way that it looks. So in English it would just be called Indian chai. And I don't have the box anymore because I left the box there. There's no point in bringing that piece of paper home. And I just have them in my tea box. So I love those. I think we have 5 left. But we are going into the city center today, Elodie and I are, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of fabric, and I hope to get another box of that. I got it somewhere kind of nearer to us, and we looked at Rewe, which is a grocery store, and they didn't have it, so maybe I just have to go back to DM and get some for myself. I guess while I'm just totally rambling on, I will talk about something else that I am just enjoying the daylights out of. I wish I could remember who talked about this. And I feel terrible that I don't. And maybe no one even talked about this. I have no idea. But all my life, I have kind of been, not all my life, this stopped maybe as soon as I moved to Germany. But as a child and a teen, I kind of hoarded journals. And that means I probably had 5, 8 journals. And every time I would go into a bookstore, I would go and look at all of their pretty journals and buy a new one and have new hopes and dreams and thoughts as to what sort of a journal that journal could be. I have one journal that I filled up, and it probably has, oh my goodness, I would say 500 pages filled. But I have tons of completely random, 10 pages written in, 20 pages, 2 pages, maybe half of a page written in journals and poem books and that sort of a thing. And I've really been wanting to journal lately and to write down what's going down what's happening each day, because I think that's important, and I think it's neat to be able to make your life and each day a part of history for yourself, for your children, for your grandchildren, for everyone, anyone who wants to read. And so I decided that a really, really good route to go was to get these 5-year journals. And I decided to get the Jane a Day, I think it's with 365 Witticisms by Jane Austen. So I love this. I've written in it every single day. I keep it right here at my desk so that either when I wake up I can write about the day before, or when I'm going to bed, or even during the day I can just scroll down a little sentence. So I'll open up to a plain page. So this is what one page looks like. And because it's the Jane a Day, it has a little quote from one of her books. And she writes so nicely. I had to get the Jane one, and it's beautiful. It's more expensive than most of there are journals that are just, a line a day journals. And it's really nice because it says 2000, and then you just write the year, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, for each year that you write in there. And then you can kind of look back and see what you've been doing each day. So I loved my 5-year journal so much that, and also it's something that you're going to do because you just have this little space to write something. So you really write down the important things. And while it's nice to have those journals to write down your thoughts and, big, long, romantic, poetic sentences and things, for me right now, this is definitely way more practical and just fun. But what I was saying is, because I loved mine so much, I was thinking about it and I thought, I need to get one of these for Elodie. So I ordered one. It hasn't arrived yet. It should be here, I would say either today or tomorrow. And what I will do with hers is I will write something each day that I've seen Elodie do, and I will write something that she says. So I will write something that I've witnessed, and then I will write something coming from her. And I think that will be really fun to go back and look upon, and then she can, start writing in here, because in 5 years, Elodie will be 8 years old. So I think it's so special. It's really fun. Really, I'm so serious. If you love journaling, if you have this sort of journal problem that you're spying them so often, you have plans to write in them all the time and fill them up, but you never do it, I'm telling you, get one of these. They are fun. That's all I can say. I've been knitting this week, and the podcast had to wait a little bit because, like I said, Elodie has been home, and I waited for a time that Robert is actually here to lay her down for her nap time. So I have a lot of time now. Well, enough time to podcast anyway. I have been working on... Wait, let's show you guys what I finished. So I cannot find my sock blockers anywhere. Anywhere. I have no idea where they could be. The only thing that I know is I remember putting them somewhere and thinking, okay, this is where you have to put them so you're not forgetting them. And of course, I have no idea where they are, which is just frustrating. So I finished my 2-lane highway road rage socks. I can never remember the name of that, Sarah. I am so sorry. They're designed by Sarah Stevens, that much I know, and this is a pattern that I absolutely loved and adored knitting. I had so much fun making them. I made them out of the Regia tweed, and I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel on them. So it is really hard to see the pattern in these dark socks on the camera. I realized that when I showed it last time, but in person you can really see it, and it gives a very nice effect. So there's 1, there's 2, and of course, as all handmade socks should, they fit like a gem, and I loved them. This is a pattern that I know I will be knitting again because I had so much fun. It was really addictive knitting. It was something that I always wanted to work on, and both of these socks pretty much, except for the heels, it was, for some reason, it's really hard for me to knit a heel, and they smell amazing because I have Tuft Woolen sock soap wash on here, made by Martha, which is the best, and always holds the flavor, the smell the best. It's not a flavor, you can't eat it, and it really softened up my socks. I tried them on before I washed and blocked them, and they were a bit itchy. This isn't the same blend as my purple Cineva socks by Lena Gerald, who has the A Wee Bit Knitty podcast that I love. I mentioned her in my last podcast because I'm finding that I'm really inspired by her. In all of her sock knitting, she has really given me back some of my sock knitting mojo. And same with Danny of Little Bobbins, because she knits as well. The most stunning socks. I went and backtracked on a couple of her episodes, and Danny, your knitting is always absolutely stunning. Anyway, back to these socks. This is a different base than the Cineva socks that I knit. That was as well a Regia tweed, and but it was the classic city trend, or classic city trend classic tweed, and this is just, I don't have the ball band with me here, but this is just the normal Regia classic tweed, I think, not the city trend tweed. And after I washed it with the Tuft Woolens, I think I used the Orange Ginger sock soap. They've softened up a lot, and they've just finished drying this morning. They took quite a while because it is really moist. And so I think they probably took 2 days. And I will wear these today with my leggings because I love showing off my socks. And that's kind of why I don't like wearing really, really bright socks. I like wearing colorful socks, don't get me wrong, but they have to be muted colors, not extremely bright and loud, like primary colors or fluorescence. Although I really like the socks that Kristen from Yarngasm finished, and I think there are like fluorescent yellow or fluorescent greens maybe, but then there's also grays and creams and colors that tone that down. I would have never bought that skein of yarn that she bought, but after seeing her socks knit up with it, I really like it. And probably because it's a little bit of a speckled yarn. It's quite speckled. And speaking of speckled yarns, Lene Yarn, who when I first started podcasting forever ago, it has to be about 1.5 years ago. And I've been podcasting for a year now alone, which is crazy. I don't even know when my 1-year anniversary was, but I'm pretty sure it's past, or it's now. But yes, Lene Yarn was a yarn that I was always talking about and always loved knitting. And I haven't really talked about it in very long. I have quite a bit of Vanessa's yarn from Lene, and I've kind of been hoarding it. I've kind of been unsure as to what I should make with it. And I have enough of her lint liquor base that I've had planned to knit a boxy cardigan with it. I have 3 skeins of that fingering weight. But I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so she had a sale, I posted about it on my Instagram, of 20% off her shop, which is huge. I mean, a lot of indie dyers normally offer 10 or 15%, but 20% is, I think, a ridiculous amount to give away. So I hopped on that bandwagon right away, and I bought a skein of yarn that I have been, ever since she dyed it and ever since she photographed it and took a picture of it on Instagram, I have been wanting it. So as soon as I get that, I will show you guys. I'm really excited. The sale is over now. I think it was just a 2-day sale, but I hope those of you who follow me on Instagram were able to take advantage of that, because her yarn is beautiful. I think the fault of her shop is that her photographs aren't that great. Some of them are fine, but she has some pictures where it's just kind of a hank of yarn. It's not skeined up or anything, and it's kind of in different settings. And I think that, for me personally as a consumer, completely throws me off of buying yarn. But because I've purchased from her in the past, when she didn't have hanks of yarn and her pictures were more clean, I know how much I love her yarn. And so, like I said, that probably would have thrown me off at first, but I went ahead and purchased it's a speckled yarn, and it's called something about Tears, but it's beautiful. It's quite a bit of natural yarn and then with different shades of speckled blue, and it's so beautiful. I purchased it in just a standard sock base, and we'll see what I knit with it. And I'll talk more about that when I get it, of course. I have also, so because I finished those socks, I cast on another pair of, what brand of yarn? Regia. What is going on with me? Yarn. So, I should have brought these 2 little balls of yarn here, but Kira got into 2 balls of my yarn and completely killed them, which is it's really sad. I'm really quite bummed about it. It's not an indie dyed yarn, which makes it so much less heartbreaking. But they are, I think one is a Patons Kroy yarn, and the other one I think is maybe a Regia yarn as well, a yarn. But I cast on the Regia design line. This colorway is so gorgeous. One of you sent me a mini skein of this to put into my blanket, and I really oohed and awed over it. And you were so nice that you sent me enough to knit a pair of socks. So I decided I needed to cast them on, because I keep looking at the yarn and I really like it. And now that I've knit it up, I'm so much more in love with it. I have gotten a lot of progress done on these. These ones just flew off my needles. I don't even know how. So I knit the Emily McGrady, I think is her last name, from Ooh Fancy Pants. McGrady. And she has a pattern called Vanilla Bean or something like that, where you just kind of do a slip stitch, knit one, slip one, every time the color changes. So that's what I did. I didn't follow her pattern as to how many you cast on. I cast on my normal amount. I just am basically doing the knit one, slip one. So I'm following her idea. And then I'm using this. This is a really old skein. Zimba Top Schöler und Stahl. And I really love this colorway. I wish I had enough to knit a whole pair of socks. It's just kind of a blue denim-y heather colorway. And I will use this for the heel and then the toe. I think it will look really, really sweet. And I'm going to try and see if I can get a pair out of one skein. If not, I have another skein, but I would really love to get a pair out of one skein because I have other plans for the other skein of yarn. So I'm enjoying the pattern. And last night was when I was knitting on the heel because Robert has been gone quite a bit in the evenings until late, until about midnight. So after 8:30 goes to bed, I've been getting a bit of knitting time in. And I really miss him, of course, but it's nice that I have knitting to keep me company and knitting to work on. And he's home all weekend, so I'm really, really grateful for that. But, so I was knitting on this, and I got to the heel and thought, oh, I think I'm going to pick up something else. And then I thought, no, just do the heel. You don't want to be on this heel for ages, and put the sock away. I knitted, it seriously flew by. As soon as I started knitting it, I thought, what in the world? Why didn't you start doing this right away? And for some reason now, after knitting this heel, I feel better about heel knitting. I feel like when I knit my next sock, I won't have that same sort of feeling. And because I had just finished the pair of tweed socks, I had the Fish Lips Kiss heel completely memorized. I didn't need to look at the pattern once, and it was really simple. So here are my little Progress Keeper zipper pulls. You all know I like to use them to keep track of where I last was and how much I've knit since the last time, to see the progression, hence the name Progress Keeper. And here I have a hilarious banana. I saw these in my shop, a Homespun House. And there's quite a variety. I'm getting more in soon. Some new ones and some of the same, but I love the little banana. And see, this is a perfect example of those toned down colors. The only one that's quite bright is this green, but all of the others really, really tone it down. And I can see that this is as well. See, I'm knitting a lot of socks that I love. I said this will be a favorite pair of mine, and I can definitely see that this is going to be a favorite pair of mine. So I'm really enjoying knitting these. I can see that I will have the first sock finished today because I'm loving it so much. And I have this inside of my little vintage Scandinavian style project bag, the one that I had to keep for myself. And I'm so happy that I did because I adore it. And I have as well a little heart. I think that will probably be hard to see. But I have a little heart Progress Keeper zipper pull. And I include these. I actually include a house, which I will show you in a minute, well, at the end of the show, on all of my project bags. And it's nice because, yeah, it's nice to pull the zipper, but then if you're doing a project, you can just clip it off and use it for your project as well as a Progress Keeper. The next thing that I've been working on that I often have kind of been doing is a Bird of Happiness. So I decided to knit a Bird of Happiness out of my hand spun. I had just a little mini skein. I don't even remember where this mini skein is from. I wish I could remember, but it has stellina and pinks and purples, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I beaded the little handle so you can, use it as an ornament or hanging it wherever you want. And I love this little one. She, of course, is stuffed with lavender and sheep wool. And she smells fantastic. So I plan on knitting another Bird of Happiness this week with, last week I got some fuzzlings from Fondant Fiber, which are amazing. I really, really am so happy with them. When I'm finished, which who knows when that will be, with spinning them, I would definitely order again. Like I mentioned, her prices are so reasonable for the quality of fuzzlings that you get, and they're massive. I mean, I finished spinning and plying. I just 2-plied this, and it is the fluffiest, most beautifully gorgeous skein of yarn. I love it. I'm going to knit a Bird of Happiness out of this. I really like how Dani from Little Bobbins says that she's just going to keep hers and put them in a little bowl just to look pretty. And I would love to do that too on my coffee table, but there's no way. Kira would definitely, without a doubt, get into that. So this will be the next Bird of Happiness that I make. And I guess we can kind of go out of order even and talk a little bit about my spinning, because I've done nothing on the D-Spackle that Kristen is hosting, but I did indeed spin a bit more. This is my, from Bumblebee Primitive, my Spindle and Fleece spindle, and I really love it. It's very light and it's really fun to spin on. And it spins a really nice yarn, I think, single ply of yarn, and it's great for plying, and it's perfect for the fuzzlings in my opinion, because it's really light and it's nice for a smaller project. So I have made these into teeny tribbles, as I did with my other one. I have 3 of these. I have 1, 2, and 3 left, and I could finish that today, I guess, during after I finish this during nap time, and then maybe this evening ply them, but we'll see. I fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to what craft I feel like doing or what project I feel like knitting on. But I have been having so much fun spinning with those fuzzlings, and I really look forward to working on more and going through the bags and picking new fibers. And Deb was so amazing that when she sent the fuzzlings that I got, she sent a gift for you guys, and I will show that when I talk about the color work knit along, because I will be using that as a giveaway. So thank you, Deb, you are amazingly fantastic, and I'm always over the moon happy with the fiber that she sends. And I think she is the first person that ever donated to the podcast a 1.5 years ago. She's so generous. It is just amazing. So something completely unexpected arrived at my door today. Joanne sent me a package, and I definitely know of her name. I guess I won't say her name on Ravelry because she didn't give me permission, but I got a package in the mail, and I saw the outside and I saw where it was from, and I thought, okay, I haven't ordered anything from there. I'm not expecting anything. When in the world could this be? So she sent me a letter with a really, really nice, sweet note inside. And what she sent me is crazy, you guys. So she kind of just wrote, I wanted to send you some of my hobbledehoy batlings, which are very similar to the Gourmet Stash tribbles. Blah, 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 blah. And then she kind of talks about them, that they're really lovely and she really, really loves them and doing one batling at a time. And so she sent me these. And I haven't used them yet. I definitely will dig into them soon. So I wanted to show you guys all of them. And these are the Nebula Batlings, the September Batling Club, and it's merino wool, bamboo, silk, and sparkle. So how just fabulous does that sound? And they're all very, very different looking. And as well, the really subtle muted colors with the then kind of brighter pops of color. And I've never used hobbledehoy, but Joanne, the thing that is really, really funny is I have actually been stalking hobbledehoy way more so than Gourmet Stash. Gourmet Stash is one that, yes, I as well have been checking out her Etsy shop, and it's always empty, or maybe there's one or two items and they're not the items that I want in her shop. And hobbledehoy, I have really, really, really been wanting her batlings. I have written her a couple of times asking her, when, saying that her updates are at times when I'm sleeping. Is it possible that maybe she can try and do an update at, a different time, or maybe 2 updates, kind of breaking them in half, or asking her if it's possible to do a custom order, all of which she's never replied to, which is a bit sad. And I feel like it isn't the greatest customer service, but I really, really, really have been wanting really badly her batlings, because they're so beautiful and she does such an amazing job putting them together. So I guess I can show you some of these. They are way smaller than the fondant fiber fuzzlings, but they're really beautiful. And they're a bit more compact than the fondant fiber. The fondant fiber ones are a lot more fluffy. These are so pretty. There are so many different ones. I don't even have an idea of how many are in here. A lot. So Joanne, you are amazing. You are fantastic. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do not have to stock hobbledehoy anymore, unless when I'm finished spinning these, I am crazy in love. Then I will have to go through stocking her again to get some of her batlings. But you have totally, you've fulfilled my wish of trying the ever so fantastic hobbledehoy batlings, and they do not disappoint. They are as beautiful as they look in her photos and in photos that other people post. So I'm really excited to try them out. Thank you, Joanne. I will put those back. I cast on something new this week. Again, like my pair of socks. I have this really fun project. So I have had, of course I don't have the ball band with me. So I have had this skein of, what is it called? It is a German brand, and people love it. Anyway, I will think of it. And anyway, so I started knitting a shawl with this as soon as I bought it a long time ago, over a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago now. I think I bought it. It had to have been in February of 2013. And yeah, so I ripped it out. I didn't really like it. I didn't like the way that it was knitting up for that. And so I decided to, I really have been wanting a really cute little jumper for the baby. And so I found Martina Behm, her free pattern for Pepita. And I thought it was so sweet. It's a little bit big. It's for a 3 to 6 month. I would have loved a newborn one. And I think I will knit another one because I think this will be perfect for the baby in the fall and winter. And then I can, now that I've knit this, or I've started knitting it, I can definitely revise it and make a smaller one. So it's like a little jumpsuit, you know. It has little buttons up here, and then here's the top that goes over the baby's chest, and then the belly, and then it goes into legs and then feet. So I think it is going to be really sweet. These are knit on size, I believe, 2mm needles. And again, I have my little progress keeper here. And I think this silver looks absolutely stunning next to these colors. And the pattern was actually made for this brand of wool. And I actually never use the same yarn that patterns call for, but because I saw that she was using this yarn, I thought, you know what, I have that yarn, I have no idea what to do with it. I don't know if I would ever use it in another project. So I decided that I would use it for this. Try it out, why not? She used almost the entire skein. So it's about 500 and something yards. 560 or so. But I'm enjoying knitting it. So you knit the front and the back here, and then you bring them together under the arms. And then it's just knit in the round all the way down, obviously separating for each foot. And like I said, it's a free pattern. I'm not giving anything away. And I think it would be really sweet right here underneath of the ribbed panel to do some sort of Fair Isle section. Just some sort of pretty Norwegian design, I think. And maybe I will do that with the second one, if I really do indeed make a smaller Pepita. We will see. And she just has instructions for the 3 to 6 month. There are no instructions for a smaller or a bigger garment. I know she says if you want to make it bigger, go up a needle size with maybe some bigger yarn, a sport or DK, which is of course reasonable and something that makes sense. But for a smaller one, I definitely will alter the stitches and keep it with the fine yarn and the fine needles. I think now I'm on to the last thing that I've been knitting. And that is, of course, my Cozy Memories blanket. So this is it folded up into fourths, I think. I, as always, have been enjoying the daylights out of this. I wish I could show it all to you, but I can't. So what all have I knit this week? I know I knit this one. This is the last one that I knit right here. And I knit this entire row. So I knit this one right here. This one is out of the same hand spun that I knit the Bird of Happiness that I just knit. And then the rest of these are mostly from yarn that I got in the scrap, the mini skein swap that we're doing in our group. And almost all of these here are from Joy Hill. I loved her yarns. I took a lot of them out of the package. So this one is definitely Joy Hill. This one is from you. This one is, this one is, this one is, this one is not, and this one may be. So I knit 12 squares this week. It's so funny, I was talking to Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast while I was working on this, and I was telling her I need to stop working on it because otherwise all that I'm going to have is this cozy memories blanket to talk about, and that's all that I will have worked on. And she was like, no, if you want to work on your cozy memories blanket, just work on it. If that's what you are interested in doing, do it. Don't feel like you have to work on something else, which is totally true. And I kept working on it that evening. But she's so sweet. But yeah, then I decided, okay, it is now time to work on something else. And I did. And so I put it away and I started working on other things. I think the next evening I cast on my Pepita, and yeah. So, but I really enjoy it. I really, really love working on that blanket. It's something that I'm really happy I picked up again. And I love that I can cover myself in it now. Right now I'm just kind of more focusing on making it long so that I can really stretch out and cover it to my feet, and then maybe I will definitely start making it a bit wider. So we have our color work knit along going on, which I just find kind of hilarious because I'm not participating at all. Of course, I'm reading all of the threads. I'm really curious what all of you guys are knitting. I love the photos you guys have been posting. But it's the first knit along that I haven't really participated in, which feels really, really awkward. It almost doesn't feel right. So I either need to pick up a colorwork project, or I don't know what. I just need to pick up a colorwork project. But I have two fantastic prizes for the colorwork knit along. We have these amazingly beautiful Rolags from Deb of Fondant Fiber, and she named them Molly. The colorway is Molly, and it's totally Molly. It's pinks, purples, mauves, and then the really pretty silky creams coming through. It's a 50-50 merino silk, and it's 100 grams. Absolutely gorgeous. And the other thing that I have to give away is this beautiful skein of yarn from Marigold Jen. I think this is actually that the woman who dyes yarn for Marigold Jen is the mother of Hobbledehoy. And this one's called Sidewalk Chalk. This is a sock weight yarn. It's 75% merino and 25% nylon. It's 463 yards of superwash wool. So it's really pretty. This again, it's kind of the perfect mixture of muted colors and bright ones. So I hope one of you guys have a really fun time knitting some socks, or it could even make a really cool shawl. I saw Sarah on the Oloops podcast, or not Oloops, I saw Sarah on the In a Snit podcast had the neatest cowl on in their last episode. I am normally a person who likes a big cowl, you know, one that really is covering your face and your neck, and I never thought I would be interested or intrigued in a shawl that's kind of actually more necklace style. It's really thin and it wraps around twice, and she just kind of, you know, made up the design herself. It's a really simple tube stockinette one, and it looked so cute on her in the last podcast, and I think she used an entire skein of sock yarn almost with a little bit left, but it looked really fantastic, and something like this would look gorgeous as a cowl, I think. But yeah, so I haven't knit with any of Marigold Jen's yarn yet. I have a skein, and as well, again, I'm hoarding it a little bit. The right project pops out for the right yarn at the right time. That's why we have yarn stashes, for me anyway. And I definitely use my yarn stash. Although lately, I have been really wanting to buy yarn There is a pattern by Henna Fettig, and I cannot, oh my goodness, it's in her Yoked book. And I was gifted this pattern, and it's a sweater. It's one that I really wanted and has been in my queue for a while, and it just has this kind of zigzag color work around the yoke. And I don't really have any worsted weight yarn. I have 2 sweater quantities. One is a yellow and one is an orange, and a really, really burnt pumpkin spice orange. And I don't know if I want to even use the yarn. It's not the most, it's totally fine. They're merino blends, they're wool blends, but they were really impulse buys. They were ones that I bought when they were on sale. I actually have a pink cardigan knit from the same yarn as the orange, and I like it. I wear it all the time. It's my Wood Stove Season by Alicia Plummer, but it fits really awkward. I don't like the collar. I don't like the way that the pattern has the collar in there at all. And so it's one that I only wear at home. I would never wear this cardigan out. But the yarn is really comfy and cozy, so I'm sure I will end up using that orange yarn at some point, but definitely not for a really special sweater. I think it will be for something else. And I know it will be perfect for something because it is nice yarn. But anyway, so I have really been wanting to cast on this sweater, and I think about buying some Malabrigo. Their worsted weight yarn. Is it Malabrigo? Yeah, Malabrigo. Their yarn is so affordably priced, I think. You get a skein of their worsted weight yarn for €9.50, and I think I would need, I haven't even really looked, but I think I would need 4 or 5 skeins of it, and then maybe 1 or 2 of the contrasting color. So I'm at about 70 euro for a sweater, which I think is very reasonable for something that you spend a lot of time working on, and especially something with color work. So I've been toying with kind of a rosy pink and a gray from the web page. The original sweater is knit in a cream and then kind of a salmon-y coral, which I really like too. But I have to think about what I really wear, because I want it to be a sweater. I want my pieces to be pieces that I'm wearing a lot, and not just, oh, I love those color combinations. I want to knit with them. While I enjoy the process the most, I'm way more of a process knitter than a product knitter. I really want it to be something that I'm wearing. I really want to be knitting sweaters that I'm wearing and am proud of and just enjoying wearing often enough, and outside of the house, because I don't have one sweater that I knit and wear outside of the house. I'm quite sure the featherweight cardigan, which is also a Henna Fettig design, will be one that I wear outside of the house. And Sarah Stevens of O-Loops is going to dye me up a colorway for the front bands and then the cuffs of the wrists, which I'm very excited about. I just have to get a yarn sample sent to her. I'm going to send her enough for her Cozy Memories blanket so she can knit a little square in, and then she can get a really good swatch of it. Because like I mentioned, because the shop is really, I haven't had time to work on it so much. I haven't had a lot of bags to sew. I had a huge update at the beginning of this week of 30 plus bags, and I think there may be five bags left. I don't know. No, I had more than 30 plus bags, and then I started making Notion pouches, and I really, really adore them. I have 3 of them left, and so I have this one. I think I called it Time for Tea, Mr. Bear, and they're so sweet. They're really, really generous sizes. You could fit double pointed needles. These definitely would fit some double pointed needles if you put them in diagonally, or maybe even horizontally. And then a bird of happiness or ornaments it definitely would fit in there. So you could even use it as a small project bag. Or you can use it for your notions, you can use it for your purse, you can use it for little cosmetics, so many different things. So I have that one left. I have Tiny Village left, and I love the way the house is with the green zipper look. I think that was paired really nicely. And then I have this pretty one. And these are the little house zipper pulls that I was talking about, that are on all of my bags. So whenever you purchase any size of bag, you get one of those on there. So in my shop, I have out for a picnic or picnic in the park. These really sweet little bunnies, perfect for Easter, which is coming up, and just any time of the year. I definitely don't think this has to be used as an Easter bag. And this one's really nice because it has some very special corduroy fabric on the outside, and I think it adds such a nice texture and look. So then I have the puppies and sweaters for the puppy lover. And then I have a massive stack of bags that are so close to being finished. So Monday, there will definitely be a huge bag update of, again, about 30 bags and 30 plus bags and some Notion pouches and fun things. So yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun playing with 8OD. We've been doing a lot of cooking together. Before this gets too long and before I babble on too much, I'm going to answer some of these questions. Okay, I answered that one. So Amanda May 83 asks, when you think, what language do you think in? Does it depend upon the situation? No, I definitely think in English. However, if I'm speaking in German or if I'm listening to German, I'm not translating it in my head. So if someone's speaking in German to me, I'm not thinking about it in English and then thinking about what that means in German. I just understand it right away. And as I'm speaking, I am not thinking about the translation, I'm just speaking in German. But as far as what my normal thoughts are, they're always in English. I definitely do not think in German at all. So, what do you like to read? Do you have any favorite books? I love I love to read, but while I've been knitting, I haven't been reading very much at all. I listen to audiobooks a lot. I just finished the Little House on the Prairie series, and that was one that my mom read to me when I was little, and it was just fun to go back and revisit them. But other than that, my most favorite series of all time is Harry Potter. I've read the series 4 or 5 times. I'm going through the audiobook now. I'm on the first one, almost finished. I think I have an hour left. I love Harry Potter. That's definitely my favorite. And I just love, I love the Delirium series. I seriously really loved that series. I thought it was really, really, really good. It was kind of recommended to me at the same time that Divergent was. And I've read the Divergent series as well, but I like Delirium way better. It's a really, really cool story. I've read all of the Hunger Games books, which to me weren't as amazing as people made them out to be. I like dystopian, books about dystopian things. I need to grab my phone because it has all my questions on it. And yeah, I like that sort of a book. I read, and kind of as well, magical books. I've read Aragon. I read that series. I read The Hobbit. just, I guess, those sorts of books. So then Joy Hill asks, did I stop working at the preschool before my parents came to visit in the fall? No, I was still working at the preschool then, or the Kita. I was still working at the Kita then. I never heard, but I had a holiday. I took holidays for my parents being here. I just never heard you mention it, and I realized you don't talk about it anymore since you're working hard to fill your shop. I don't work at the Kita anymore. I stopped working there basically at the end of the year. So at the end of the holiday, September 1st was, wait, did she say when I went to visit my parents or when before I came to visit my parents in the fall. Yes, I stopped working there then. My last day, I think, was September 1st, basically. So I worked all the way up until summer break. And then I just really wanted to fulfill my dream and work on my shop. And I just had a 6-month contract with the Kita. And then once it came time that they asked me if I wanted to renew it, I said no. It was really nice working in the Kita. I had so much fun and so many great experiences. I loved one of my colleagues so much. And I still talk to her now. And the kids were really amazing. And while it was a little bit sad to go, I am so happy doing what I'm doing now. And I know that I could have never made a better decision. And it was something that I kind of always had in my mind, that after the 6 months, I would see, how I felt about it. And while I enjoyed it, I knew it's not what I wanted to do the rest of my life. And I thought, you know what, Molly? You've been dreaming about a homespun house. You have time, you have the creativity, you have the drive, do it now. So, and then she asks me if while I'm knitting, I'm doing stretches for my hands and my body. I'm not doing anything specific. I'm not like doing finger exercises or, but I definitely stretch a little bit. I've mentioned before that I'm not good at all about getting up every 15-30 minutes and doing things like that. So Stitched by Lena, or Stitched by Lena, Stitches, asks, have I ever sold hand knits in a shop? I have not. My grandma has. She has quite a few shops that she sells random hand knits at, and she does all right. It's nothing she could ever live on. It's just because she loves to knit. And she gets in these phases where she's knitting so many different things, like baby hats or baby socks. I know she's found that baby items are the items that sell the best. Also the bracelets that she knits, those sell pretty well as well. Do I crochet? Yes, I like to crochet. There's a pattern for a bunting or a garland that I have really, really been wanting to make with hearts on it. And not even because of Valentine's Day. It's one that I will and would like to put up throughout the entire year. I love it. I wanted to make it this week, but I got too caught up in all of my other knitting that I didn't. And so hopefully it will be something that you guys see next week. And Nina asks, she wants to see pictures of my wheel. I have a picture of my wheel on Instagram. If you just go through my feed, you'll see it. And then Tanya Marie asks about why I left. I just answered that. Yeah, so that's all I will answer for today. I think my episode has already gone on long enough. There are so many more questions. I would love to be able to answer them all in one episode. I could even just do a completely random episode where I am answering questions. I don't know how you would feel about that, but because I feel like right now there are so many questions and new questions are coming in each day, that maybe it would be nice to just kind of have a get to know you, question answer episode where I just have a random episode in the week. It wouldn't be my podcast, but I would have maybe one day where I just sit down and answer some questions about myself. And then of course I would still film my podcast this week rather than answering questions every single episode. Please give me some feedback on that. I would really, really appreciate that. So Robert is finished. He's been finished for a little while, bringing Elodie to bed, and we are going to spend some time together. I hope that you guys have a really, really lovely afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. As soon as Elodie wakes, we will, like I said, go into the city center, and I'm going to get some fabric. We have to return some clothing. Robert was really sweet and bought me some clothing because most of my clothing does not fit, and we have to go and return them. They're a bit too big. So we'll go and do that, and we won't have lunch there or anything. I'm making some amazing chickpea sunflower seed sandwiches, so that will be delicious. I'm gonna run down to the store now and get some fresh cherry tomatoes to put in there, and maybe some lettuce. We'll see what they have. So you all, like I said, enjoy your day. I'm looking forward to enjoying a tasty lunch and spending time with Robert and Elodie, and I will see you all next week. Bye.